Hello, welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. We have quite an interesting news to render. It's quite a long read. A lot of things is happening in APC. There's been a leak. There is big crack in going on in APC. Adamu have decided to bomb Tinubu, and that letter has been leaked. It's a very serious crisis going on in APC already. When campaign has already started. Go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel, click on the red subscribe button beside it. You'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's go straight into the news. All does not seem too well in All Progressive Congress APC following the emergence of a controversial letter written by the Senator Abdullahi Adamu-led National Working Committee NWC to his presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Report has it that ruling party has plunged into a deeper crisis following the release of 422-member APC Presidential Campaign Council. In the letter leaked in the early hours of Thursday, the APC National Chairman accused Tinubu of breaching the agreement he had with the National Working Committee with regards to the composition of the Campaign Council. Adamu said the presidential candidate is operating solo, whereas winning election is supposed to be a collaborative effort. The NWC had made some recommendations to Bola Ahmed Tinubu before the announcement of the campaign council, but the presidential candidate has refused to follow those recommendations. Well, let's find out what the recommendations were. The recommendations of the NWC team are to have Senator Adamu as deputy chairman of the council, the APC deputy chairman, National Chairman North, Senator Abubakar Kyari as Deputy Regional Coordinating Chairman North, and his counterpart in the South, Honorable Emma Enoku as Deputy Regional Coordinating Chairman South. The demand also included having APC National Secretary Senator Iola Omisore as Vice Chairman Party Affairs, the National Organizing Secretary Alhaji Suleiman Agugu as Deputy Director General Organizing, the APC National Vice Chairman South, Honorable Victor Giadom as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator South, and APC National Vice Chairman Southwest as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator of the Zone. Others are APC National Vice Chairman Southeast as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator, APC National Vice Chairman North Central as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator, APC National Vice Chairman Northeast as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator, and APC National Vice Chairman Northwest as Deputy Zonal Campaign Coordinator of the Zone. The NWC also recommended the creation of more directorates, like the Directorate of Media Relations to be headed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Directorate of Compliance to be headed by the National Legal Advisor, Directorate of Organizing, Contact and Mobilization to be headed by the National Organizing Secretary. The NWC also wants the National Women Leader to coordinate the Women Wing, the National Youth Leader to be in disabilities in the Presidential Campaign Council, PCC. A top-ranking party official had told Vanguard. But now, let's see the letter one-on-one. It said, on behalf of the National Working Committee, NWC, of the All Progressive Congress APC, I present my compliments to Your Excellency, and I have the honor to convey to you the truth and respect the committee's opinion and position regarding the above-mentioned subject matter, with a view to having a clear understanding about the perspective or respective roles and responsibilities of the principal organs of the party charged with the duties of conducting the campaigns in the forthcoming general elections. This correspondence has become necessary in view of development that took place over the last few days around the purported appointment into the Presidential Campaign Council (PCC) that was announced, precipitating by officials of the council without making records to NWC for approval. All along, the NWC had been disposed towards the campaign in a cooperative spirit that is driven by the overall interest of the party and the singular desire of victory for a candidate in the persons of your esteemed self and your running mate. It is against this background that the NWC received with astonishment and regret the press release by PCC on the 23rd of September 2022, in which a purported list of appointees was announced, which effectively served as approved roster of participants in the party's Presidential Campaign Council. The purported list not only came as a complete surprise to the NWC and the party's leadership, but also contravene the principles and purposes of the arrangement that you and I had led towards the adoption of the organogram of the PCC and its principal officials. Perhaps it has become necessary, owing to the passage of time, that I should draw your Excellency's attention to the agreements that we reached in principle around the final adoption of the PCC list, based on the understanding that it was a work in progress until such a time that the joint NWC PCC committee that was established to formalize the structure and populate the list submits its report. Your Excellency will no doubt recall our meetings in my office and also at the NWC conference room at the party's National Secretariat on Wednesday, the 7th September 2022, during which we discussed the details of the organogram of the PCC and its composition as a collaborative project between the two entities. Our recollection of those meetings clearly leaves us in no doubt that a breach of agreement has occurred, and that a return to the principles of cooperation and respect for each other is required. In Your Excellency's own words, which I took the liberty to quote here, which I also hold dearly, you stated that, quote, "There is a burden on everybody's shoulders towards delivering the election to the party and the candidate. This has been the view of the NWC and myself all along since Your Excellency emerges as our great party flag bearer. The NWC is striving under trying circumstances to keep faith with this vision and to take our party and candidate to victory, not only in the presidential elections, but in all other across the elective structure of the offices. May I therefore point out to you, Your Excellency, that winning elections is a collaborative and cooperative as well as collaborative effort that is done in a transparent and disinterested manner by all parties concerned, by respecting established boundaries and acknowledging the contributions of everyone. The NWC believes that any sign of disarray in the party's rank will undermine the spirit and ethos of the campaign and give the undue alarm to faithful members and followers of the party across the country. At the same time, such a development would undoubtedly come as manna from heaven for the opposition parties, whose only desire when all else fails is to see the introduction of rancor, division, and disinclination in the leadership of our great party. I am sure Your Excellency will agree with me that this is an eventuality that we must do all in our power to prevent from happening. You will also agree that we owe it a duty as leaders to provide guidance by example to the rest of the party, including the PCC, to abide by agreements and adhere strictly to the work ethics that has been adopted by all of us. It is only by doing so that we will establish the premise for victory and gain the trust and confidence of our dear countrymen and women. Without further admonishment or complaint, I wish hereby to call upon Your Excellency to restrain the PCC from undertaking solo projects of this nature and agree to work with all stakeholders towards taking our party to victory. I shall not find it necessary to reiterate the importance of the party in the overall scheme of things in these campaigns and the singular position of the NWC in driving the process towards our securing of our victories in the polls. It suffices to me to convey the general and overwhelming sentiment of the NWC with regards to the ill-timed and unfortunate release of the PCC list, which confounded rather than pleased the members whose withdrawal will assure the NWC of their Excellency's respect and disposition towards the party, as well as the magnanimous spirit of cooperation towards achieving victory together with the NWC. Please accept, Your Excellency, my own personal regard and consideration, as well as the assurances of the NWC's warm and sincere facilitation. Hey, ebelebe, ewelele. This is interesting. Let's